Vanguard newspaper today at the lead story, more controversies over 3.7 trillion naira gap in 2024 budget. The writer Ningi was right. No detailed project allocations for 3.7 trillion naira ascribed to budget. Senate already having some credibility problems. Minority leader, it was there yesterday, so I guess that's where they got it. Bauchi governor declares support for Ningi over Senate suspension. Come clean, clear all allegations, Obi tells Senate. Ningi suspension, attack on freedom of expression, opposition's rights, CISLAC, Transparency International. So that is the big lead on the front page of Vanguard today.
Daily Trust has this budget padding allegation. Budget backs Ningi as opposition knocks Senate. We stand by a senator, that's according to the governor of Bauchi State. PDP asks Akpabio to step aside. Ningi's suspension, attack on freedom of expression, that's according to CISLAC. That'll be it for Daily Trust.
New Telegraph this morning is interested in the economy one way or the other, and look at that story. Tinubu orders opening of land-air borders with Niger. And the details are on the inside pages. Lifts other sanctions in compliance with ECOWAS decision. Says kidnapped victims won't be ransomed. But what does that mean? Find the details. Directs security agencies to rescue all victims. Take proactive measures to halt spread of the criminality. And I also find it interesting at the bottom of that page, right under the picture. Lagos PDP disowns Jandor, asks him to apologize to leaders. Jandor lacks power to expel Bode George. That's ascribed to a party chieftain. Find the details on the inside pages of the New Telegraph today.
Nigerian Tribune, aftermath of Ningi's outburst. Southern senators revive forum, elect Abiru as leader. That is their big lead today.
You also take a look at the Guardian newspapers now. Look at the lead story there. World Kidney Day. Did you know it was World Kidney Day? Poor lifestyle, cost of care exposed 27 million people, I imagine that's what they mean, to renal ailments, death. The story is on page 6 of the paper. They also have some infographic there telling you just how many people die of kidney disease yearly and how much it will cost to look after your kidneys, assuming you were to be ill. Well, not you, but assuming anyone were to be ill, with a kidney ailment. The story is on the front page of the Guardian, continuing somewhere inside the paper. Let's leave it there for the paper.
Birth of the opening of the borders as declared by the president, $354 million trade to resume. That's the lead story of the Nigerian Observer this morning as Tinubu reopens Nigeria-Niger border. $354 million trade. Wow. We'll find the details on the front page of the paper this morning.
The Daily Times. Kidnapped school pupils. We won't pay ransom to bandits. Tinubu vows. So that is the big lead here. But at the bottom strip, high cost of aviation fuel hampering counter-terrorism operations, ascribed to the Air Chief.
And looking at this Nigeria says Ningi, Southern senators move to check alleged excesses of Northern colleagues, revive forum. And that story is right there on the front page. We're for unity of all parts of the country, not just South, says Abiru. Bauchi Governor Mohammed backs suspended senator. The story is on page 2 of the paper.
Business Day newspaper this morning is looking at this interesting story. Food processors invest 23.8 billion naira to cut import bill. It's a very interesting read for anyone who knows what that is about. Details continue on page 30.
Have a look at Daily Independent if we haven't. Don't pay ransom to free Kaduna 280 abductees. ascribed to Tinubu tasked security operatives to bring them back home safely, swears in 17 NPC commissioners. That's the front page of Daily Independence today. Okay, so there you go. But one of the key things here is security, which we'll talk about briefly this morning. But this marching order that's been given to the security agencies, many are looking to see now how they will progress with this one, because we also do know that previous president, his predecessor, did give a similar directive to security agencies, and the results, you have your opinion about all of that. So that will be one key area which we'll be looking to see what exactly goes on with that one.
Well, two stories immediately stick out for me on the front page of Daily Trust. Much later within the conversation, we will be talking about Nigeria reopening its border with Niger and the implications of that. So you see it right there. It's the second big story on the front page of Daily Trust. Nigeria reopens land-air borders with Niger. What are the implications of that? We will be delving into it much later. But take a look at this story. It started really slow and soft, but it does appear that the federal government is still on it. Federal government asks Binance to provide 6-month transaction data of top 100 users. We understand that some of the executives have been in Nigeria for some time now, and I think the federal government had to approach the court. There were initially conversations as to whether or not they were going to be questioning them within the quarters of security agencies. Some of them insisted that they wanted to be questioned within the embassies of their respective countries. But the federal government, approaching the court to be able to detain them. Now, whether the first order they got from the court has elapsed is unclear, but that conversation is still going on with the executives of Binance. Don't forget that the CBN governor, I think was the first MPC we had seen, MPC meeting, briefing we had seen in a while, told us of how the $26 billion had passed through Binance. Binance Nigeria alone, and I'm sure the authorities are still trying to inquire as to who the users are, whether the monies are going through that system are legal or if they are illegal. There were details on page 19 of the paper that's Daily Trust for you this morning. Ayo.
Yeah, I'm interested in the story on the front page of Business Day today. Food processors invest 23.8 billion naira to cut import bill. I got talking with that story, by the way, is on the front page of Business Day newspaper. I had this conversation with someone who is in the industrialization space in Nigeria. I was saying, look, that for people to bring in equipment into Nigeria to cut import bill, to create jobs so that we can be doing value-added production in the country is always Herculean. That be it at the customs or whoever, that the authorities to allow them to bring those things in alone, the rates that they have to pay, the bureaucracy they have to go through is quite a lot, and that is very, very telling. If we are going to be a producing nation, I think all hands should be on deck, but I'm not sure that everyone got the memo that we need to be a producing nation, and the way to do that is not to take undue advantage of people who want to invest genuinely in Nigeria, create jobs, help the economy to grow. Government can't do everything alone, so why should it be government officials that would now be the stumbling block to get these things done? I think it is something worth looking at, and if we are serious about industrialization, perhaps it is something that the Ministry of Industry should take a more critical look at, so that Nigeria can actually begin the process of investing in Nigeria, producing genuine made in Nigeria goods and services, so we don't have to have Nigerians go out of the country simply because of whatever. Well, that's my take this morning from the front page of Business Day, Chimali.
All right, so there you go. Yeah, we'll be back in just a moment and take you through what we've got for you today. So stay on with us.